and welcome to Slade on Slade. This is my beautiful wife, Leslie. I am Keith, and we're wearing bunny things. Did you know pink was originally a boy's color?
Yes, you told me that.
Yep.
So today's topic is going to be, should I use a pen name?
Pen names. Because everybody wants to be named as Transformer, Optimus Prime, G.I. Joe. Jesus Christ, it's going to be a rough one. First, I'd like to plug my book, The House of Ribbons, which will be hopping on the shelves here in 2021. Book 2 is currently at the editor right now, and everything's moving really good. I'm excited. I'm an excited upcoming author.
So this is our Easter special, so happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
What are some of the reasons that you would want to use a pen name?
Maybe you don't like your own name. Maybe you want to do a little branding. Maybe you want privacy. There's a slew of reasons you might want to use a pen name, but you have to understand something. And other writers have covered this in their videos, and it's true and it's valid. If you pick something that you think is great, like Samantha Stormcloud, okay, and then 2 years later you hate that, you're screwed.
You have to use it.
Yeah, you're stuck with that shit. Okay. For me, I kind of like my name. I love my last name. It's, for me it's great, but it's for me it's the old additive. And I talk with I got twin 14-year-old daughters, and I say, hey, do you know why you would never let a 10-year-old name themselves? It's because they're going to be like Bunny McCarrot Transformer. Okay, kids are unoriginal when it comes to names. You don't believe me? Look up any YouTube name from a kid channel. They're ridiculous. It's no fault of them. They haven't had the life experience to do that. So just.
Do you have any other reasons why you would need to choose a pen name?
Yeah, I mean, so you might want to avoid confusion. So one of the things my wife liked about me when we first started dating is I could spell her last name. It's got 13 letters. It's Seidenstricker. So a lot of people have stumbled at you. Every one of your sisters, including your mom, hates your last name, right? I thought it was cool as hell. I think Slade and Seidenstricker together sound like action names. You want to do, so you want to avoid the confusion of people not knowing how to spell a complicated name. Maybe you have one of those really cool names that are just hard to spell because you got a J and then you got a Q, 2 letters later on from that. So I mean, it's going to help avoid confusion on who you are as the author. It's made for easy reading, and then you might have a name that already exists. You could be an Edgar Allan Poe for all I know. I mean, people pick crazy names for their kids nowadays. So you might have an already established name, whether it's in the writing field, or maybe you're a Clooney. Maybe you're a Reeves.
Or another Stephen King.
You could, yeah. There could be a King. I saw a video when a guy was talking about that his last name was originally King, and he used a pen name just to avoid any kind of.
Because might want to be associated with Stephen King, but Stephen King is going to totally outshadow you. Yeah. So you're going to want to choose a different name. That way, everybody look me up underneath.
Everybody wants to be individual and unique, but you're going to have a lot of people out there named Smith, which is great, but for me, there's not a lot of Slades out there that have written. I don't know if I would have used a pen name. I'm just going to keep Slade, and I don't want somebody to be like, oh, you didn't really write that. That's for ghostwriting assignments. For me, if somebody's like, why don't you use a pen name? It's the same as if I ghostwritten a book. Okay, if you have the money and you need a book written, and I ghostwrite it for you, I'm not looking for the accolades. This is my book series is my shot to just pay off my house and to be like, you love me now, mama? I did it, mama. I did it. You love me now? It's one of those things you're like, hey, didn't we go to high school? I'm like, yeah, we were on the wrestling team together. Like, didn't you write a book? Yeah. Nobody's ever going to say that because I don't talk to anybody from high school because it's like 20 some odd years ago. Okay. But it's one of those things,
Yes. when you choose a pen name, you need to go out and do some of the following things. Is you need to research your pen name because you don't want the same as somebody else, correct?
Nope. You want to, when you apply for your copyright, first off, let me just stop you for a second. If you're writing anything and you want to retain creative control and not have anybody take it from you, you're going to need to cough up $35 and copyright that stuff. But if you're under a pen name, you want to make sure your copyright, your manuscript has your pen name on it. Because
so, like when we did our copyright, we put your name and then my name. So if anything happens to you, I still have rights to your.
The rights automatically fall to my wife because I'm not going to live forever. So there are pros and cons to having a pen name. It really comes down to what do you want. If you want to be Shadow, Waterfall, Storm Cloud, hey man, that's cool. Okay, but sometimes that works against you. Maybe you hated that name. Maybe it's a name somebody else gave you. Boyfriend or a girlfriend gave you this great nickname. And then you publish the book and you're riding high, and 2 weeks later you guys break up. Do you really want to hear that name anymore? No, you don't. Okay, but that's my opinion. Okay, and my opinion is only valid when it comes to me. And I'm not trying to duck out because we live in 2021 now. I'm literally saying it's my opinion. I don't care what you want to be called. If your writing's good, I don't care if you call yourself Tic-Tac-Toe Crumbs on My Face. I don't care what bizarre name you're going to use. Okay? Just don't make it hard for me to have to Google the shit out of you,
Another thing you want to keep in mind is you want to claim the name too. So if you're going to use Sunshine, Kitty Cat, whatever, you need to make sure you claim that name and keep it as your own so that nobody else can take it.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing, just so you know, you can't copyright a name, which is so frustrating because in the 5 books that I've created, I have what, 300 or so really good characters with names. Most of these names you're never going to find anywhere in the world but inside my book. I made it like that because I like unique names. I like names that can be pronounced. And we're going to do a whole video on book to book to book, each name, whether I think you can pronounce a name or not. I want you to know how I say it.
But what I'm saying is you want to claim it. So if you're going to use that name, then your books are going to be that way. And if you go somewhere, you're going to have to become that person.
That's who you are. There's a lot of movie stars and a lot of singers that have a radically different name. Like Heather Nova is not actually the singer. Her name's not actually Heather Nova. Okay? So you have to be this pen name is going to become an almost alternate personality. And you got to own it. So you got to think really carefully. Like, do I want to be called Kitty Cat Starflower Rainbow Face? Or whatever name you can come up with. I couldn't justify a pen name, and I thought long and hard of it. I'm like, why would I? I'm saying, when you got a face like this, no goofy name, no matter how stylized and cool it's going to sound, it's going to change anything when you open up the cover and you're like, oh, Jesus Christ, the gargoyle wrote this? So let's just keep it at Keith Slade.
So that's what you want to do when you're choosing your name. So our next I wanted to know is what you want to not do when you are picking your pen name. You do not want to go overboard with a fake identity. So,
yeah, but don't forget, we live in 2021, so you got to be careful telling people what not to do.
Well,
don't do it.
No,
I missed the cameras right there.
You don't want to go overboard with it because you remember you have stop. You have to go by that name. So if you're gonna go Kitty Boo Boo blah 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 blah.
Oh, you almost said it from that movie. Gross.
You want to actually be able to remember it, and to be able to want to be called by it.
Remember, it's like a tattoo. Okay. I always recommend, to people who want to get a tattoo. I don't know anything about having tattoos in any way, shape, or form, so I'm just talking out of my ass. But if you really want that tattoo, get somebody to draw it on you in permanent ink. Wear that shit for like a month. If a month later you're like, oh, this is great, because almost every one of us, if you've got more than 5 tattoos, has that one regret that you got to get covered. So your pen name, could you just imagine you write something, and I hope everybody watching this that writes something, I hope it does really well. I really do. I think those of us that read, we're almost a dying breed because, TV on demand and all that stuff. So I need more writers. I need more writers to fill the imaginations of my children. So I hope you all do well. But imagine you write something really good, okay? Imagine you become the next J.K. Rowling, but your pen name was Transformer Optimus Prime Creaky Door. People are going to be like, you see what I'm saying? So this is not something that you want to choose lightly. You want to choose it like a tattoo. You want to say, hey, I could have to be this person forever. Now, it seems like an easy fix, but it's not for me, so it's just one of those things. If you come up with something, isn't Cassandra, isn't that her pen name? Cassandra Clare? I can't remember, from the
No.
World of Shadows?
No.
No, what did she do? City of Bones.
Yes, Shadowhunter World.
Shadowhunter World, right.
Okay, so another thing that you cannot do is if you are in any pre-existing contracts, you can't use a pen name to get out of them. And you also can
so let's say you're in a contract and you're writing books for a publishing house, and then you want to sneakily write something and publish it on your own under a pen name. There's a legality there. You're going to get yourself in trouble because the courts recognize you as the person, not you as the name. Take it from us, okay? We're both paralegals. I do mediation also on the side. That's for people who don't want to cough up the money for a lawyer. And they use a mediator so that they can be divorced. We see a lot of crazy shit that people try to fly under the radar, and it makes me scratch my head going, why would you think this would work? Why? In what reality would that have even worked? And the pen name thing, obviously we've never encountered, but it's happened.
Well, you also have to think all the everybody that's trying to transgender are changing.
Jesus Christ, edit that. This is where you edit that. Stop, click it off. Don't say anything about transgendered.
Okay, stop.
Yell at me again, I'm gonna throw my elbow.
Okay, well, I can't stop.
The next one we want to talk about is a pen name will not protect you from defamation claims. In no way, shape, or form are you really on the internet hiding behind some secondary fake IP address. You wrote it. You said it. It's your IP, which is your intellectual property. Therefore, somebody could drag you into court.
If you like our content, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button below. And that is all we have for you tonight. See you later.
Happy
Bye.
Easter.
Oh, yes. Happy Easter. Bye.
Bye.